Crypto has changed tremendously over the last 2 years. I mean, we can't treat alt season the same way. We can't treat structuring a portfolio the same way as we did in 2021 or 2023, et cetera. So in this video, I'm going to go over really the only sectors and altcoins I think are worth buying in this current market, and the only things that can also withstand these downturns that we continue to see. The stock market is prevailing, but right now, the altcoin sector is getting absolutely crushed if you're not in the right coins. So I'm going to go over the only core tokens that I think you should be holding in 2026. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video, guys. If you're new to the channel here on In the Money, we go over everything between crypto and winning in prediction markets. Be sure to like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more every single week here, Monday through Friday on In the Money. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. No filler today. We're just going to jump right into the action. And if we just look at the charts on crypto, you can see there are some outliers, on the 24-hour charts. Some coins don't look too bad. But when we scroll through here, stuff like ICP is down 12% this week. We have Bittensor 𝗨 down 10% this week. We see a lot of tokens down double digits. Some tokens are still thriving, but very few and far between. Stuff like Hyperliquid is up 16%, which is really not a surprise. It's probably the king of this cycle. But it's really treacherous out there, and a lot of these tokens just continue to take downtrends. I'm not going to, pick on a certain token, but let's just go to like Avalanche. This thing has literally, no pun intended, been an avalanche of bad price action for literally over a year at this point in time. If we go to this yearly chart, it's brutal. And, this is really widely acclaimed as what used to be one of the best altcoins in crypto. It went from $35 now down to $6. And, tokens like this are the reason that you have to take a look at the market objectively and say, okay, this is not the stock market anymore. Like, a crypto bull run does not mean that all ships are going to rise, every single token is going to go up, and you're going to make profits in every single bull run. Like, this is today's stock market. You're literally seeing altcoin level gains. It's absolutely crazy. 50%, 14% on daily moves here for pretty good sized companies. Like, these are obviously publicly traded stock market companies, and you're seeing these types of gains on a daily basis. This is not happening in the crypto space. So we definitely have to adjust our thesis and make sure that we're protecting our downside. And that means not holding as many tokens as previous cycles. And I saw this video from 𝗪𝗠𝗪 and Banks stream this last week, and I thought it was really intriguing. Like, okay, life on the line. What are the 3 tokens you can't sell until the end of this year? You have to choose. Like, you can't say one token and then USDC. So entire net worth across 3 cryptos you can't sell until the end of 2026. He said one is obviously Hype. We then see 𝗍𝗍 kind of, I think, piggyback on this tweet. He's begun allocating his entire Bitcoin stack into SOL, NEAR, and Hype. So I'm going to say a couple of these do overlap with my thesis. So I thought it would be a pretty good video to come in here and actually go over what would be the 3 coins that I'm going to be buying during these time periods. Let's go ahead and jump right into that. What would be the 3 coins? And I'm going to expand it to 4 that I would currently be accumulating in this market with the most confidence that as we make it through this bear market, you will come out on top. And for me, altcoin number 1 is overlapping with both 𝗪𝗠𝗪 and 𝗍𝗍 on this token thesis, and that's Hyperliquid. You guys know this if you watch the channel. I am incredibly bullish on Hyperliquid. We have many tutorials and breakdowns as to why this altcoin has done what it's done. We started accumulating in the 20s. It's at $69 today. I really do think this will eventually be trading above $100. Really is the best product natively in crypto to maybe hit the scene in quite some time. And they're dumping basically all of their revenue back into buybacks, which helps the token just keep a level float. It gives back to the holders that have support for this project. It gives back to the traders because the fees that they're paying, they're just putting right back into the token. It is a really good equity buyback flywheel that they have going on with Hype. And this chart here just shows you how bullish this is. Okay, this is the TVL coming through every single week, or this is the daily chart even. This trend literally lines up with the Hyperliquid chart almost verbatim. Let's just pull up the last, what is this timeline here? This is all the way back to 2024. So let's just go to the all chart here. And we can see this chart literally mirrors the TVL chart on Hyperliquid. Okay, let's just take a look at it step by step here. It pumps up into here. And then here on the TVL chart, we had this big pump. The one big retrace that it had over its whole time period was from this $55, $58 mark all the way down to $20. And that lines up with the exact timeline, January 20th, 2026, January 20th, 2026. That's where this TVL is. And then this just has just pumped ever since then. This chart mimics exactly the price action on Hyperliquid, and the products being built on Hype are just absolutely impressive. We have stuff like Project X and Proper. Proper is a prop firm that has a future airdrop coming up. Very bullish on what they're doing. Project X, you can farm DeFi and even earn potentially 100% on your Hyperliquid holdings every single year, which is absolutely crazy. So yes, to me, Hyperliquid is, like 𝗪𝗏 and 𝗎𝗍 say here, I agree. That is number one for me. I think it's a no doubt non-negotiable. If you are participating in crypto in 2026, this has to be in your portfolio. Moving on for me, number two on this altcoin list of these are the only things you need to be holding in 2026. I still think Zcash is up there. After the little compromise thing, it got a little bit of FUD. I'm going to leave Zcash out of it, but it's definitely on the cusp of making this list still, even despite the compromise. I still think Zcash is pretty strong relatively according to the market. But let's go down the ladder a little bit and let's hit privacy and AI, and that is Venice. You guys know we've been buying Venice since about $8, a little bit late, but it is up basically 100% ever since we got in right around this time period. End of April was when we started really accumulating Venice at a high rate. And once again, simple thesis. Like the reason I'm liking these tokens, and I'm going to show you another chart here. 2026 is actually moving towards real product, real adoption, real attention, real metrics, real revenue. Like we want to see core things that are actually performing well. Crypto has, unlike the stock market, you know, like the stock market's going up hand over fist every single week. But with crypto, we are tired of the fraudulent companies that come in, milk fundraises, and then exit scam, basically. Stocks don't do that, right? You can buy Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla, whatever the case is, hand over fist. And over time, you're going to probably come out and profit. Crypto's just not been the same way. So when we see a company like Hyperliquid with these metrics, when you see a company like Venice with these metrics, these are their API. Here, it's loading real quick, but the API tokens. So they're doing 85 billion API calls every single day. And this chart is only up and to the right. So there's more adoption and more usage coming into these platforms, which I think is just absolutely essential if we plan to make profits on quality altcoins over the long haul. Like we can't just sit here and hold eroding tokens like Cardano or Avalanche in 2026. We need to be on the tokens that are on the cutting edge and are growing in the bear market. These are the tokens that are going to absolutely springboard to the upside in the full-blown bull market. And this covers AI and privacy, as it is fully private AI, utilizing all the best LLMs in the industry. So by far for me, number two, and I think this is a must, and I believe 𝗪𝗏 agreed as one of his tokens, I would say VVV is a must hold in your portfolio this year. Before we move on to the final two tokens for me, I do want to go ahead and give some exposure. We are launching this week on June 25th. So 3 days from now, we have the In the Money group going live. Now, my team and I are going to be going hard in here, giving you all the crypto trades, from leverage trades to in the trenches to prediction markets to seeing every single one of my trades and my predictions in these different markets. So you can see here, we're going to have the crypto corner where you're going to get signals, deep dives, airdrop alpha. We have people in the trenches every single day. We're going to have people on the charts. And then we're also going to be giving you guys all the metrics and the alpha that you need to win in prediction markets. So the first 25 seats are $50 a month. And then from there, it is $100 a month. The wait list is filling up pretty fast. You can join the wait list here and actually lock in your spots if you want to take a look at it. Link down below in the description. But super excited to grow a community around this new movement within the money. So let's go ahead and move on to the third altcoin on this list. And so looking at it, we have a huge revenue driver in Hyperliquid, probably the best business in crypto. And then we're also pairing it with probably the best AI overall business in crypto, which is Venice. And I mean, I'm not holding bias that one is better than the other, but this chart here on literal just metric growth pretty much proves it, that it's one of the fastest, if not the fastest growing AI project in crypto. But moving on, I think you have to then look at AI. So we've covered, a huge revenue driver with Hype. We have AI and privacy with Venice. Moving on to these next two tokens that are both AI, we have Bittensor Tau, and then I also am going to be accumulating another AI token. But still, despite the turmoil that some of this ecosystem has been through over the last few months, the Tau ecosystem continues to grow. Let me just reload that subnet page. And Tau Stats is a great place to track all these metrics. But you can see here, a lot of these are pumping on the charts. If we just looked at like the monthly charts, we have certain subnets up like 400, 100, 200%. But more importantly to look at is the net Tau change. So are people going into the subnets or are they pulling out of the subnets? Is there a net gain on the amount of Tau being staked? Because this is important. You can't really sell your Tau if you're staked into an alpha token. So you look here, the Tau inflows over the week look great. Like this weekly chart, IOTA's gained 2,000 Tau, red team's gained 1,000 Tau. So you're seeing more Tau getting locked up into these subnets, which is one of the most bullish metrics that you can have whenever you are looking at the Bittensor ecosystem. So Bittensor to me also, if we just look at this monthly chart, we just had a rip back up to 280. And if Bitcoin would have continued its momentum when it reclaimed 70, I think that this could have been really nice run, pushed back up to 300. Now you're getting a decent entry again back at this $230 level, pardon me. So absolutely, Bittensor is still in my AI thesis and is a firm part of my portfolio. The fourth token that I am accumulating right now, and I agree with this incredibly, and I even pulled this tweet up from last month because I think it holds a ton of weight still. I think buying $100 of NEAR every day. Now, you can do this however you want. $10 of NEAR a day, $20 of NEAR a day, under $3 is going to pan out to be an unreal trade. And then in the comment section, he does mention that whenever you look at the ecosystem, NEAR Intense is printing so much money. They work with Zcash, they work with Venice, they work with a ton of these businesses that we also support and hold in our portfolio. Let's just go look at the NEAR token right now. It's at $2. This thing was trading as high last bull run as $20. And they are farming millions of dollars in profit from their latest innovations with their privacy stack with NEAR Intense. So to me, this is a trio that can't be ignored between Venice, Tau, and then also with NEAR protocol. You're on the cutting edge of decentralized AI. There's nothing else competing with those in all of crypto. You cover everything. And then from there, you have Hyperliquid on top of it. That would be my cap in my portfolio, really. Hyperliquid, NEAR, Tau, Venice. I think that you will crush most people's portfolio who are trying to be too smart. And I had a conversation with one of my good friends who's a great trader as well. But I told him this cycle is the cycle that when you try to overthink or be too smart in your portfolio, it's actually backfiring. And that's straight up from the stock market too. You could have thrown darts over the last 24 months at any stock on the board, basically, and you've made 50 to 100% almost on your money just without even blinking. But that time period is not here right now. And the less you honestly try to outsmart yourself and say, this token's going to pump next, I know it. If you just hold the core stack of main character tokens this cycle, you will outperform the people who are over trading, over rotating. I can promise you that, because 2026, the game has changed. Not everything is going to have a bull run. And I think it's clear. We've seen these core tokens pump every single time tremendously whenever the market goes up. And I do believe this will continue. And I think keeping some stable coins on the sideline, right? You don't want to allocate every dollar you have on chain into tokens. You want to have some liquid capital, because right now people are thinking Sol's going to heat up, or there's narrative trades out there that you could hop in and then hop out of after they pump. So keeping about 10 to 20% at least of your portfolio in stable coins gives you that flexibility to be able to jump in these narrative plays. And I'm not saying you only have to hold these tokens or you're cooked. Like, there are other great protocols and projects in crypto. But for me, playing it safe, going heavy into those core plays that have really proven themselves over time, I think you're going to outperform the vast majority of people holding too many altcoins or really overthinking their portfolios in 2026, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, if you support these tokens, or let me know your tokens. What would be the 3 or 4 tokens that you would be holding in 2026? Let me know down below. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the In the Money link. Get all the details about the upcoming launch later this week. And join the waitlist. Look, there's no obligation, but if you join the waitlist, you're at least going to get alerted. We're going to be absolutely cooking in there alongside my team. So check that out down below. And I'll see you guys on the next video. As always, trade responsibly, my friends. And of course, stay bullish, my friends.